Hey guys, my name is Nora Franche, and welcome to the podcast Grateful Blessed Mess, daily reflections for those in the 12 steps. I am a fellow 12-stepper and certified mindset coach, and I am here to introduce you to the value of mindset coaching in your 12-step journey. So if you feel like you are stuck in the steps, if you're slipping and sliding with your abstinence, mindset coaching may help you as it did me, and you can find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. These episodes are meant to invite you in to consider the truths of 12-step wisdom and to join in the very real struggle of living them in action. I hope that it feels almost like a mini meeting, and I invite you to contribute your own share on the Grateful Blessedness Facebook group to keep the discussion going. My comments are based on my own experience, so feel free to take what you like and leave the rest. But my hope is to encourage you on your own daily 12-step journey. As they say, you cannot stay clean on yesterday's shower. So without further ado, let's begin. Hey guys, we're reading from Daily Reflections, page 109. It's the reading for April 10th, titled Growing Up. The essence of all growth is a willingness to change for the better, and then an unremitting willingness to shoulder whatever responsibility that entails. As Bill sees it, page 115. Wow, I needed to hear that today. Okay. Sometimes when I've become willing to do what I should have been doing all along, I want praise and recognition. I don't realize that the more I'm willing to act differently, the more exciting my life is. The more I'm willing to help others, the more rewards I receive. That's what practicing the principles means to me. Fun and benefits for me are in the willingness to do the actions, not to get immediate results. Being a little kinder, a little slower to anger, a little more loving makes my life better day by day. I like the pace of that last line there because that's been something that has been shown to me that I really need to do yet again, is is to pause, is to slow down. And so being a little kinder, at first I read it a little slower, just in general, but a little slower to anger, like slowing down the speed that my thoughts race. A little more loving makes my life better. And this is what they're saying, practicing the principles in all of our affairs. I just so connected to wanting praise and recognition for what I was supposed to be doing all along. It's so, I feel, it just feels so yicky, but I guess this is what, it's an opportunity for humility because that's my pride. But it's also illogical. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like if you, I don't know, that's a silly example. If you were someone who never tied their shoes, you just was like, no, I'm not going to tie my shoes. I don't want to. And so you walked around life, tripping, your shoelaces got dirty and frayed, and it just was very messy. One time they got caught in an escalator. It was a big problem. It was very dangerous. And then all of a sudden you had this big conversion of heart. And you're like, I'm going to be a person who ties their shoelaces. And you tie them and you do it beautifully. You even bought new shoelaces because the other ones are destroyed. And all of a sudden you're waiting for people to remark oh, you're tying your shoelaces now. That's wonderful. And a grown adult wouldn't need praise and recognition for tying their shoelaces. They would have been doing it all along. And so I think it is hard for us because, and again, I'm talking in sweeping generalizations, but I think I can speak for myself. I am a sensitive person. And when I do things that are hard, I have this big resistance to start things that are hard, just internally. It's no. And so then once I've done it, I'm like, no, you don't realize how hard this was for me. But on the outside, someone's like, but that's what a normal adult does. And I'm like, it's we in recovery, I think we get to learn to not minimize that little child in us that's like, no, I want to hear I did a good job. But it's that like we need to be the one who tells ourselves we're doing a good job, and our like taking that to our higher power, and just that interchange between you and your higher power. We have to pray for the openness and the growth for that to be enough, because that is a recovered person who doesn't depend on the praise and recognition of others to stay on the straight and narrow, to know they're doing a good job. And it's a hard thing for us. I think it's a very hard thing for humans, especially us in the 12 steps. And at the same time, it can sound so obvious on the outside when it's something as simple as maybe tying my shoes. But then if it's something like actually, speaking up about something that bothers me that you're doing, and all of a sudden it's not taken kindly, and I'm in shock because I'm like, wait, whoa. You're not allowed to have your own reaction. You don't know how hard that was for me to bring that up. I don't like doing that. I feel like I want to die inside. This is very hard. But that's the emotional immaturity that still exists in me. It's not fair to not allow another human, their reaction, their internal response, just because something I did was difficult, but it's something that as an adult, that is within my responsibility to do, to speak up and advocate for myself, and to do it calmly and politely and from a serene place with the benefit of the doubt that the other person is good and doesn't have malice in their heart. So that's where I went with that. Growing up, coming from these emotionally immature places that still exist within me, that then seek the attaboy, the good job, the pat on the back for doing something that I should have been doing all along. But I just want to caution you too, not to go to shame, because that's another place we can take it. We either swing to anger, that like, why are you saying that? That doesn't feel good. Or we go to shame, where it's like, oh, I'm such a horrible human. I'm so behind. It's like, no, it's just that, okay, if this is hitting you one of those two ways, it's like, okay, now you know. And that is a gift, because now that you know that maybe you're not carrying your own weight of your emotional responsibility, your responsibility just to yourself, now that you know, you get to take it to your higher power, and you get to address it, and you get to ask for help, and you get to start to learn the skill of compassion for yourself, especially in those areas that just didn't learn how to do the hard things that maybe a more stable home would have taught you. All right. With that, I pass. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you feel that mindset coaching could help you on your 12-step journey, please feel free to reach out and find me at catholicmindsetcoaching.com. This is not a replacement for 12-step work. This is something outside of the 12 steps. It is simply something that has a heart for the 12 steps and those who are in it. And so, welcome. If you are here, chances are you may also be a bit of a mess, and I hope that you can learn to find some gratitude in the blessings that have come from your messes.